What up, Pittsburgh Steelers fans? Breaking news, the Steelers are signing MyCole Pruitt, the tight end H-back, who played with Atlanta last year with Arthur Smith, played a couple of years in Atlanta, has played in Tennessee, was also a key part of the Tennessee offense with Arthur Smith. He's an Arthur Smith guy. He's a bit like a Cordell Patterson in terms of being that with Arthur Smith bringing him over, but he's a guy that sort of followed Arthur Smith around. Arthur Smith lost Jonnu Smith to the Patriots, wasn't able to get him when he was in Atlanta, but they do bring in MyCole Pruitt, who is a pass blocker. He is someone that, like I talked about with Shannon White way back when we signed Arthur Smith. I think I even did in one of the other videos, I said MyCole Pruitt might be a guy they target, but I didn't. At the time, I said I didn't love the move. I don't crazily differ from that, but we will have a quick look at MyCole Pruitt. We'll look at some of his stats, and I'll talk about what it means for Connor Heyward and Darnell Washington in particular, because there are impacts for the Steelers signing MyCole Pruitt and what that could mean. But also, I will say that the terms of the contract, I haven't seen them come out. Wanted to get the video out to you really quickly. Wanted to get what his play on the field could be, but it's probably vet minimum kind of stuff. All right, so you look at MyCole Pruitt, played a number of years in the league, was drafted out of Minnesota in the 5th round, way back when in 2015. He's 31 now, had a career since he was 23 in the league. He's had an overall yards of 748 yards for 71% receptions. That's an average of 10.5. He scored 12 TDs. So that's not too bad. Every 5 or 6 if his reception goes for a TD, that's not too bad. He had 4 in 2022. That was his career high there. That was when he had his most yards as well with 150 yards. So kind of exciting for him, and that he's had actually some production later on in his career. He had 4 years at Tennessee, a couple of those were Arthur Smith. He has a career catch percentage rate of 74%, a career high of 81% back with Tennessee in 2018. He definitely is a guy that offers you some first down potential as well. On the 71 receptions he's caught, 43% of those have been for first downs. He is more of a blocking tight end, though. As I mentioned, he's 6'2". He's about 245, 250 pounds. And that's what I think is going to be really, really interesting for Darnell Washington and for Connor Heyward. 2 different reasons why. If you look at overall snaps, for MyCole Pruitt, he never plays more than about 40 to 45% of the snaps. In fact, last year he only played a third of this offensive snaps with 36. He does play on special teams, so he does offer you special team versatility. But there was a rumor coming out of when Arthur Smith signed that Connor Heyward could have some challenges in making this roster. He might not fit within the Arthur Smith offense, even though he is more of that H-back type, even though he's a blocking type. I do wonder about that with an addition of MyCole Pruitt, because he can fill that fullback H-back role. For Darnell Washington, the impact would be that perhaps it lessens the pressure on Darnell Washington to just be a blocking tight end all the time, and you open him up to do the passing game. But what you can definitely tell is that there's a real theme amongst the Steelers' acquisitions on offense this offseason, bringing in guys that are, 1, familiar with the Arthur Smith offense, and 2, guys that can do a lot of blocking, whether that's Cordell Patterson, whether that's now MyCole Pruitt. When you look at some of the other moves that they've been rumored to be making, you look at some of the moves that they might go into the draft. It's got a fit like a Malachi Corley, for example. That's a guy that can block. So it is kind of interesting when you look at it from that perspective about what the impact of MyCole Pruitt can have. He is an older guy, as I mentioned. I don't love it because I think the Steelers could keep using Connor Heyward. I do love it from the perspective of freeing up Darnell to not just be a blocker. And because I've been saying all through this draft season that I do think the Steelers need to spend a 4th, 5th, or 6th round pick on a tight end to get someone else in the room besides Pat Freeman that can catch the football, because we haven't seen that out of Darnell Washington. This allows them to go and to not be forced to do that and try and get that out of Darnell Washington, who at his height, 6'7", almost 6'8", the 270 plus pounds, absolutely can destroy players in the secondary if you get him the ball. But the Steelers didn't do that last year. They didn't do that. But MyCole Pruitt, it'll be interesting to see. Is he just a camp body? Is he a preseason body? Can he make the 53? And is he going to be putting pressure on Connor Heyward? That is the question. But you let me know in the comments, how do you feel about signing MyCole Pruitt? Are you a bit over Arthur Smith just signing all his blokes, or do you think it's a really cool idea that we bring in guys that fit that offense? Obviously, that's really important, but do you trust this as another veteran move? You let me know in the comments. As always, go Steelers.